everybody, Mary here with Team Liquid, and today we have a very special guest, our very awesome observer InFeZa.
Hi InFeZa, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty tired, but I'm good and I'm happy that Flash just won IEM. I was hoping for him to, come out with a big tournament win.
Right, because finally, everybody's been waiting for this for so long. It's so great that
especially me, since I'm a very big Brood War fan.
Exactly. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, since you brought that up, how did you get into Starcraft?
Actually, one of my friends back in my hometown, Melbourne, he actually introduced me to GOM TV with Tasteless and Super Daniel Man was casting old Brood War back in the day, I think about 2008. And he just linked me to the stream, and I started watching. And I'm like, oh my god, I used to play Starcraft like hours and hours a day, just sitting on Battle.net when we had 56k internet in Australia, using all my phone line, all my phone time. So nice. I play, and then I kind of got back into knowing that there was a competitive scene, and it just went from there.
That's great. So you said that you've been playing for a long time, ever since Brood War. How did you get into observing specifically?
Well, a little caster called Maynard. He casts ACL, which is what Australian Cyber League, which is what we have down in Australia. And I was actually playing in the tournament, and I made it like to group stages, and then I dropped out of groups. And so I was watching Maynard cast, and he was observing too, and he was terrible at it. So I said, for the next one, I'll step in and I'll do the observing for you. So the people watching at home won't really miss, or hopefully miss anything.
Right. Well, because a lot of times when a caster try to observe and cast at the same time, it's very easy, difficult. Right, because it's really easy to just miss something that's going on, whereas your eyes are glued to the screen.
Yeah, and essentially I'm like a third kind of caster who doesn't really speak. The way I speak is through my mouse, and but
that makes a lot of sense. How do you think good or bad casting impact the quality of a cast itself? Because like you said, you are a third caster. You're just speaking with your movements rather than your mouth.
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, the quality of the casters. Like, casters like what we have today have so much experience, especially with observers, and it really helps that they know the observer style and kind of what they're going to show. Because most casters like to look at the game themselves, so they can relay information to the stream at home, which might not be something that I show because it's not really viewer friendly, I guess. That being said, I think having an observer is crucial to having two good casters that can focus on one job.
Right. I think we definitely all agree that having the observer is definitely a night and day difference in any tournament.
Yeah.
And so, do you think observing? You obviously, do you still play yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think?
I don't know if you saw Comic Sweep, but I was the first person here the other day.
Nice. That passion, man. But,
so I do play regularly.
How do you think casting does impact your own gameplay? Does it improve it? Does it help? How does it help you?
To be honest, it really helps my gameplay because I steal builds that I observe firsthand, like coming up.
So wait, let me get this straight. You're to blame for all those builds on ladder as soon as they appear.
I hope so. Yeah. Well, I mean, like coming out of IEM today, like I'm a Protoss player, and Zest played phenomenally, and I've watched like all of his games.
You don't say.
And I'm like, okay, I know which games I'm going to take his builds from and just play them on the ladder because they look very solid.
So what build are you going to try now when you get home?
I really liked his PvT build because I'm having a bit of trouble in PvT matchup, kind of like most Protosses these days. I think it's a bit shifting, but it's the quick link into the Colossus. Sounds like my style.
Oh, wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, you mentioned that the casters should get used to the observer style. Do you think there's like different styles in observing right now?
Yeah.
And how would you describe
the main two styles? I'd say the Korean style and like the foreigner style. It's kind of similar to actual gameplay in StarCraft.
That's actually interesting. I don't think people realize that there's like Korean versus foreigner observing style.
I've talked to Artosis about this a lot, and he says, like, I agree with him that the Korean style, they emphasize on the surprise of the game. So they kind of hide the production and stuff. They hide the information, and they have like a big surprise. They like the Colossus comes out.
Dramatic.
Yeah, it's
more like primetime television.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Yeah, exactly. But I think for us foreigners watching it, we like more to know everything that's going on in the game.
Right. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer a bit of both, to be honest, but more because the casters and stuff, they always talk about. They always have the controls themselves, so they always talk about the information anyway. So it's like, okay, well, I might as well show the information.
Now we have a question for you. How does an observer improve? Like as a player, you just play a lot of ladder, or you practice or something. How do you improve as an observer?
That's a good question. I think playing a lot of ladder is a good way to improve. I personally go to replays and just watch them silently. So I just have pretend casters in my head. Like I know casters have different styles of observing. It really depends who you're casting with. But I think most of the way to improve is just practice and just not necessarily practice, but experience too. Like it's kind of tough to get into observing.
Right.
A lot of people think that anybody can just jump in and watch the game.
And watch the mini map, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's not
but there's way more to it when you think about it. And even myself, like I'm sure there's tons of things that I don't realize myself that I could improve on, and that's why I go and watch the VODs. Like when I get home, I'll watch
your own VODs.
I watch my own replays, and I say my scrolling might be not that smooth here. I might have missed on more information, like not showing the upgrades and stuff.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that you're from Australia. Could you tell us a little bit about the Australian esports scene right now and how big Starcraft is over there?
Yeah, it's actually up and down at the moment. Australia obviously always has a tougher time, getting their players out there.
Even getting like a major premier level tournament.
Yeah, exactly. We did have WCS 2012, which had like the biggest tournament in Australian esports history, which is fantastic. Artosis came out and huge prize pool. Since then, we had a bit of WCS format restructure, and we now have 2 slots to go into WCS America.
Right.
And actually, Iagers has actually taken one all the way up to the round of 16 of Premier League.
That's great.
So I'm very happy for him, and I'm sure he'll put on some really good games.
Definitely, yeah.
That being said, I'm actually doing a little film myself, a little bit of a plug here, but I'm doing
of the Australian
I'm
scene?
doing a film. It's called Mates of Starcraft, and it's all about the scene in Australia. Like nothing sugar-coated or anything. I just want to show we have
what's actually happening.
we have some really passionate fans, and we don't really get. It's not as big as other scenes, but it's still like we have the people to really drive the scene and keep it fresh.
Right. Definitely. So now, what is your favorite matchup to observe? Do you have one?
It actually fluctuates between the metagame. Currently, I'm probably swinging towards TVP, simply because
not ZVZ with a million swarm hosts?
Swarm host games can be good, but then again they can be a bit too much drawn out. But actually Snoop put on some really amazing swarm host play.
Yes, the games versus Hero.
Yeah,
they were very same
and
each round.
He played phenomenal, and it's not just the boring put your swarm host in the map and turtle up and get a huge bank and remax on whatever. It was actually very well thought out by him. But that being said, I think TVP is my favorite, simply because I really love the Ghost High Templar battles that go on, and the storms, and anything that really and even like some mines mixed in can really kind of excite the audience.
Right. Do you have one game that is engraved in your memory as your favorite game ever that you've observed?
I think it was from WCS 2012. We had a game, Moonglade versus Nightlight, previously known as Nightlight. The name is Tilia now. they had like an hour-long game, and it was just like 20 nukes, and it was just action-packed, and it was such an amazing game.
Were you able to catch everything that was going on?
I don't think I caught everything, but hopefully I did a good job to show like what an amazing game
I'm sure you did. Well, now for the last question, I have to ask. Tell me how you feel about damaged health bars.
This is a widely this is a widely debated topic within the Starcraft community. Obviously, I think that damaged health bars are good for playing, and kind of good for solo casters who don't have an observer. But if you do have a dedicated observer, there's no reason for you to use damaged health bars. Simply because it doesn't really highlight the units that you want to highlight on the screen. So like you might have like some high energy ghosts with some high energy Templars, and they're trying to get key EMPs and snipes off. And with damaged health bars, you might have a few Marines that are like damaged and stuff, and that kind of clutters the screen up, so you can't really show that. But that being said, it takes a lot of practice and kind of good control for the observer to actually select the health bars that need to be selected, because there's some key moments that can happen really fast in Starcraft, that something might die like super quickly, or might have like you miss it, and having the health bar is pretty key information for the viewer.
And so that's definitely very true. Do you have any last words for the community?
I'd just like to thank you for doing this interview with me, and give me a follow on Twitter at InFeZa.
Now you have it. Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you.